So the first thing what we're going to need to do is cut a piece of metal in the shape. What I'm going to do is be about a 1/2 inch extra all the way around. I'm going to flange this over. You want to put as many clamps as you can get on it. You don't want this to be moving at all. I'm going to hammer this over the lower form. I've got them both. There's a bottom and a top hammer form, sandwiching this together, and I'm going to work this over. So let's get to make a little noise here. Sometimes you'll have to move these around so you can get into where you need to get get a better, get your hammer in there right. I'm going to work this around. Once I get this at maybe a 45 degree or so, I will just go ahead and start rolling these up now on the sides, a little tighter as I go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay this one right on down. You can hear a different sound now. It's hitting real hard. That's hammering on dolly. And then as I come over the top, you can hear it's lighter. I'm hitting on the top parts of these upper tucks and working these down. All right, we'll move this over and down so I can get the rest of this. I've got my sides pretty good. I'm going to roll this over. I want to make sure that I don't get any of those tucks in there as I go around. I want to make sure that the tucks are right, but they don't overlap, is what I'm saying. Okay, we can slowly work this down. The metal is slowly shrinking into itself. And as I get closer and closer, you're going to hear that I'm going to be hammering on dolly again because now my metal is getting right tight. You're also going to see that these tucks might not completely go away. What it is my metal is a little bit too long, and so I can't get it to smash right down. So I only need the 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is come in and cut that off with the tin snips, and then we can finish this up. All right, I think we're about as far as I can go here. I'm going to flip this up and kind of look at it. Do the last little bit so I can see exactly where I need to hit. All right, still needs to come down a little more, but like I say, it's hanging over. So what I'm going to do is pull this out of my hammer form. I'm going to trim this edge to where I want the thickness with the tin snips, and then I will put it back in and finish forming it over. All right, so I've unclamped my piece. You can see it's a little bit long in a few areas. This side's just about right. So all I'm going to do is pull my hammer form out, grab my magic marker, and I will run this around the edge here to where I want to cut this off. Kind of using my fingers as a gauge to tell me how far I want to, so I get a fairly good straight line. Okay, now as I come up the side, it's going to be fairly easy cutting, but the top here is a little bit thicker, and it won't be too bad. But I have shrunk some stuff up that it really takes some strength to cut through this stuff. All right, so now I'm going to put this back on the hammer form. It's almost there. You can see this fits pretty good by cutting that excess off there. I'm gonna grab my hammer. I'm gonna do a little. I can clamp this all up again, but I think just by holding it, I can finish this off. All right, with the hammer, I'll just lay it down like this. I don't know whether I'm going to improve it much or not. It looks pretty good. And we can get it out. Sometimes the students will fold these right over the top of it, and they can't even get these out before we have to cut them. They've cut the pattern out too wide. So anyway, there's a nice hammer form, nice and smooth finish, no welds. We can come in and just lightly sand that and be perfect. So, you know, the guys say that it's a little chipmunk tombstone there.